A320 Mentor Channel.
Welcome to the A320 Masterclass. Today, we are moving beyond the standard profiles to explore the edge of the envelope, the low-altitude go-around, and the balked landing. This isn't just about following a sequence, it's about mastering the advanced techniques, FCTM enhancements, and critical aerodynamic limitations that define professional airmanship at the highest level. A go-around initiated near the ground is one of the most dynamic and critical maneuvers you will ever perform. In both the simulator and the real world, this specific phase of flight is what separates good pilots from great ones. Our focus today is on rejected landings following a bounce or late balked landings, scenarios that demand absolute precision in thrust and pitch kinematics and a strict adherence to hard system limitations. In a split-second balked landing, the pilot flying is entirely focused outside on the runway centerline and pitch attitude. They simply lack the capacity to verify system states. This places a heavy burden on the pilot monitoring. The PM must maintain acute awareness of the aircraft configuration and instantly verify that state before calling for or initiating the go-around. Success depends on the PM's capacity to monitor the system when the PF is at their limit. There is a definitive point of no return, the selection of the thrust reversers. The core directive is simple. The pilot flying must not initiate a go-around once the reversers have been deployed. However, should a go-around be initiated despite this, the flight crew is committed. You must complete the maneuver. Understanding why this line exists is vital for your survival. Why is the reverser selection our absolute limit? Because once the deployment sequence begins, transitioning back to flight is a gamble against extreme aerodynamic disruption. Reverser exhaust severely disrupts the airflow around the vertical stabilizer and rudder, effectively destroying your yaw authority. Furthermore, the drag profile changes massively and unpredictably during the stowage sequence, making the aircraft's behavior nearly impossible to manage. We have to respect the physics of high-bypass turbofans. They are bound by physical inertia. If your engines are at idle when you hit the TOGA detent, spool-up will take several seconds. During that window, an initial loss of altitude is inevitable. The technique here is discipline. The pilot flying must maintain the pitch attitude and resist the urge to pull until the airspeed increases to VAPP. Below 100 feet, the aircraft transitions to flare law. This means you have a direct stick-to-elevator relationship with no auto-trim to help you. Because the engines are mounted under the wings, the sudden application of TOGA thrust creates a massive native pitch-up moment. The system will not trim this out for you. You must be prepared to fight the nose to maintain control. One of the hardest psychological hurdles is accepting runway contact. A temporary landing gear contact during a low-altitude go-around is perfectly acceptable. The real danger is yanking. Attempting to pull the aircraft off the ground without sufficient thrust leads to a severe energy deficit and a highly probable tail strike. If the wheels touch, let them touch. Focus on the energy, not the pavement. Let's look at the startled tail strike trap. The pilot flying feels the aircraft sinking, applies TOGA, and instinctively pulls back hard on the side stick to avoid the ground. The physics of failure are predictable. Spool-up delay plus a rapid rotation rate combined with compressing oleo struts equals a tail strike every time. The correct technique? Set TOGA, rotate smoothly to the target pitch, and accept that the wheels might touch. Another common trap is the premature gear retraction. Often driven by pure muscle memory, the PM might grab the gear lever before the aircraft is actually climbing. If the aircraft settles back onto the runway with the gear in transit, the result is catastrophic. Do not touch the gear until the aircraft is safely established. The PM must confirm a positive rate on both the VSI and the altimeter first. Failing to counteract the TOGA-induced pitch-up in flare law is a critical error. The nose will pitch right through the flight director bars, leading to a rapid loss of airspeed and a severe tail strike risk. You must anticipate this moment. Apply positive forward pressure on the side stick to aggressively maintain the target pitch. Do not let the aircraft fly you. You fly the aircraft. During the critical seconds of spool-up, if the aircraft is on the runway when TOGA is applied, you may see transient config alerts. The directive is clear. Disregard them. Do not let a master warning distract you from the primary task of pitch and thrust control. In these seconds, your eyes belong on the primary flight parameters, not the warning lights. When things don't go as expected, we anchor ourselves in golden rule number 4. Manage the pitch, manage the thrust, and keep the wings level. Do not worry about the missed approach routing, ignore ATC momentarily, and do not rush to clean up the aircraft. You must fly first. Safety is found in the sequence of your priorities. To execute flawlessly, follow the timeline. It starts with commitment. PM verifies no reversers and the pilot flying calls for the go-around. Next, thrust and pitch. Set TOGA and apply forward pressure. Third, acceptance. Rotate smoothly and accept potential runway contact. Fourth, verification. Confirm a positive rate. Finally, cleanup. Retract the gear only once you are established in the climb. A low-altitude go-around is not just a procedure. It's a test of discipline, system knowledge, and crew resource management. Respect the reverser limitations. Anticipate the spool-up delay. Above all, fly the pitch. Safe flight is no accident. It's the result of the mastery you've demonstrated today.
A320 Mentor Channel.